We are back, and this time we are going to do something a little different. This time we are going to go down memory lane and talk about the Jewish people and their rich history in India. We are then going to talk about how special and unique the friendship between Indian Jewish and Muslim people has been and still is to this very day.
Jews have been in India for centuries, quite possibly millennia. Some Jews, such as the Bnei Menashe of Mizoram and Manipur, are even considered descendants of ancient lost Israelite tribes who went wandering away from the Levant thousands of years ago. What recorded history tells us is that some of the earliest Jews to arrive in India were the ones who fled Roman persecution and settled on the Konkan coast in around 175 BCE. These Jews are known as Ben Israel Jew.
The next small by comparison wave of Jews were the Nagercoil Jews or St. Thomas Jews. These were Jewish followers of Jesus' apostle St. Thomas. They followed him from the land of Israel to the present-day Kanyakumari in 52 CE to preach the teachings of their Rabbi, Jesus, or Yeshua, as he is called in Hebrew.
The next to arrive were the Cochin Jews, who were expelled from Spain by the Catholics in 1492 CE. Another wave of Portuguese and Spanish Jews fleeing the Spanish Inquisition arrived in India in the 16th century and settled down in Goa and Chennai. They were the Goan Jews and the Madras Jews.
In 1839, a group of Jews fled persecution and pogrom in the city of Mashhad in Iran and settled in Punjab, where they were welcomed and protected by the Sikh Maharaja Ranjit Singh.
Finally, the Baghdadi Jews made their way to India in the 18th century from Iraq. A second migration of Jews took place in the early 19th century as Dawood Pasha grew increasingly intolerant of Jews in Baghdad.
While Jews were persecuted across Europe and the Levant, they were welcomed and thrived in India.
We now tell you a little about some of those Jews who did ever so well in our land, and particularly about those Jews who had shared the closest bonds of friendship with Indian Muslims.
Gaspar da Gama, also known as Gaspar da India, was a famous Portuguese Jewish explorer who frequently sailed between Portugal and India on trade expeditions. He knew a couple of Indian languages and was hence employed as an interpreter by the Portuguese and developed close relations with many Indian leaders. However, at one point in his life, he was taken prisoner in Alexandria and sold as a slave to India. Fortunately for him, Yusuf Adil Shah, the Sultan of Bijapur and Arab governor of Goa, granted Gaspar his freedom and also appointed him as a captain of his fleet of ships.